Holiday greetings from the brand new digs of SEABA on Pine Street in Burlington. If you love Art Hop, you're going to be stoked for this weekend's first ever indoor art market. We're talking one-of-a-kind gifts for everybody on your list so you can come across as the world's coolest Secret Santa. Hello, Vermont. Do you remember making those paper chains to help you count down the days left until Christmas when you were a kid? That's how I feel at this time of year. Every day there's one less link in the chain, and I still have lots of gifts I'm scouting for. But now there's one more place in Burlington I can go, and I am so excited. So joining me today to talk all about a big new change to Burlington's South End neighborhood is Christy Mitchell, Executive Director of the South End Arts and Business Association, otherwise known as SEABA. And if you recall, SEABA puts on Art Hop each September, which is a huge event on the fall calendar. Street closures, open art studios, it's a total scene. You were here in September talking about it.
Yep.
Yeah, all right, so Christy, welcome back.
Thank you.
Feels like you were just here.
I know.
Yeah,
Thanks for having me back.
Yes, but this time around, big new changes, and this was not even on the horizon when we were talking about Art Hop back in September. So tell us what's going on.
Well, what was really cool about us meeting in September was that we were planning on the Strut Fashion Show taking place during the street closure. And this opportunity came up where the old Arts Riot was for rent, and I thought, well, why don't we do the fashion show in there?
Yeah.
But once we were in there, Art Hop weekend, and we hosted an indoor market for our designers to sell their clothing, we said, why don't we just stay here all the time?
Yeah. Were you looking for a space? I mean, had there been this? No. So there hadn't been this sense of we could also be a permanent presence on Church Street in the Arts District.
Pine Street, but
Pine Street,
yes.
sorry, yeah, sorry. What did I say? Church Street? No,
Church
not Church
Street
Street, Pine Street. I live off Pine Street, I know this. Yes, but so you didn't have the intention, it kind of fell in your lap a little.
Absolutely, you know, once it did, you know, we have an office, our office is the South End. We curate 9 buildings in the area, so, and artist studios and businesses, they're all what makes the Arts District. But when this opportunity came up, it was like I could not pass it up.
And I think you had even been circling this space kind of incidentally, because a few years ago you did an event in it, right?
Yes,
yeah. Okay.
So we actually did a last-minute market in the former Arts Riot a few years ago, and you know, collaborating with local businesses is what we do. So we've used the space in the past. SEABA actually, coincidentally, used to be in a portion of it. Our office is probably about 7 or 8 years ago. We had a little portion of that space.
Yeah. If you are unfamiliar with the geography of the South End in Burlington, Pine Street is a long street, and clustered all around it there are many old sort of repurposed, probably once upon a time, former factory buildings, etc. And there's lots and lots of working art studios, galleries, etc. in here. So now right in the hub, the center of this is where the SEABA new headquarters are going to be located. So it really provides like an identity for the space. I think that's so fantastic. And people, when we moved to the South End, people immediately started saying to us, oh, so sad, you know, Arts Riot used to be such a gathering place. People have wanted that space to be useful to the community for a long time.
People are just walking by every single day. They pop in, they're like, oh, so happy that it's activated again. You know, and to see it empty was heartbreaking.
Yeah. Well, seeing any of our large spaces, I mean, all of us in every town in Vermont, I think, feel that same tug when you have an empty space and you just, you know, it's a feeling like there's a little hole in the community and you want it filled.
And to know that we're part of the community already and that we're representing the artists and the businesses, everyone's just psyched.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I live right nearby, and I was super excited to check out the new space. So I dropped by, and Christy gave me a tour. So let's take a look. Last time I was in here was Art Hop for the fashion show.
Absolutely. The Strut Fashion Show in here was a really exciting opportunity for us to use the space.
Yeah, and it doesn't look anything like what I remembered. What was going on in here before? Like you've painted in a lot, right?
Yeah. So right now, our main goal is just brightening up the space.
Making it ready for artwork, right? Yes, good white walls.
A blank slate. Really just wanted to make the space feel a little bit lighter, less dungeony, less nightclub, which
less nightclub, more art gallery.
We'll still have some of that, but
still a little bit. Was this as dark as it was?
We haven't reached that far up yet.
Yeah, you need really big ladders in order to get all the way up there.
You can see that dark green that was everywhere.
Okay.
So yeah, just brightening up. We're leaving some of the murals that were here, which are really fun.
Yeah, the murals are great.
Yeah.
And do you know who did them?
More.
Adding more? Yeah.
Dylan Fant did this one, and then there's one over here by Abby Manick and James Belizia. I'm actually meeting up with Abby to talk about her mural and keeping it intact.
How cool!
Yeah.
And so, how do you imagine you're going to use the space now?
Yeah, so we're definitely going to honor what this space was originally built for, so performance space. So we'll have music at least once a week, but then that'll be coupled with artist talks, workshops, indoor markets.
That's amazing.
Private rentals.
Well, this space I know in the South End for this whole area has been, when it used to be Arts Riot,
Yes.
and having it empty for such a long time. And there was a couple businesses,
Yep.
distillery type thing that were in here
Right.
for a bit, but people have been missing
Oh, yeah.
having this be an active community
Absolutely.
space.
Every single person that walks by or comes in is like, oh, this is so needed. We've been waiting for this.
Yeah. Well, that's great. So bringing venue back again, more art curation, and then what's in through this way? Because I see
Yeah, let's go in here.
construction or
Yeah.
something happening back
So
there.
back here's like the community hub for arts and events. And then when you walk into this space, this will be open regular business hours with staff to greet tourists and visitors. It'll be a welcome center.
Wow,
for
that's
the-
nice. It kind of gives
Yeah.
a presence to the South End Arts
Exactly.
District. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Now there's a hub. Now you can come in and learn what's where.
Exactly. We'll
Very
have
cool.
an interactive map that you can search where are the jewelers, and it'll pop up all the jewelers, which
God,
we
that's
already have on our
amazing.
website, so we'll be able to actually help people navigate that.
That's really cool. I mean, that's now starting to give an identity to this. I mean, it's always, people have known that this is where you go
Yeah.
for galleries and to find arts and things, but to now have an actual home base. And like you
Absolutely.
said, having maps,
Yeah.
having materials for people to
Exactly.
be able to guide their way through there, that's cool. So,
SEABA was in this space a decade ago, which is
Okay.
really funny. Just this little portion looked completely different. So it's a little bit of a homecoming too. And then of course, Art Hop is this is the center. We closed the street, so this is gonna be our front yard now again. So just really excited.
that's really amazing. Volunteers, who's getting all this work done?
We do have volunteers doing the paint days and the clean days, and but this little deconstruction project is the property owner. So that's being kind of, hopefully the goal is that we have this open in January.
Oh, amazing. Cool. Well, let's go in here, and I want to see where this market's going to be.
Okay, sounds good.
So speaking of come here and let's see where this market's going to be.
Yeah.
That is really cool. Tell us about the Christmas market, because you mentioned how you've done a last minute market before, and now we're having another one.
Yeah, we get to come back, a little homecoming in multiple ways, but the last minute market is an opportunity for shoppers to get those last minute gifts, but also for vendors. Vendors have been working their butt off all season, and they've got a little bit more they want to product they want to sell, and maybe they'll offer a little bit of discounts here and there, but we'll fill this space with vendors. We'll have some live music. We're planning on, just festive vibes. I'm excited.
And this is on Saturday the 20th?
Saturday the 20th.
Only on the 20th, or Sunday too, or just
the 20th on Saturday from, what did we decide, 11 to 5.
11 to 5. All right, so mark your calendars now. You have a plan for Saturday. This is where you are going to go and get all of your last minute shopping done, finding some really cool gifts. What kind of vendors do you know, who's coming in? What kinds of things will people find?
Everything, so it's all handmade gifts, and so jewelry and knit pieces and art and, just something fun. If you got that last minute list.
Yeah, last minute list, and this is a way better way to finish your last minute shopping than, say, going on to an online retailer and paying extra for shipping or not, or just a way to support our local community, support our local businesses. Come up and have some fun at the same time. Get a coffee at Speeder and Earl's, can't say it, next door, prowl around, fantastic. Okay, and then New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve.
Okay, tell us
so
what's going to happen.
Our very first concert, we've been working really hard on honoring the stage area in that space and putting in new sound equipment. And so this is a New Year's Eve spectacular. It is a fundraiser and just a way for us to celebrate the space. First concert on the first night of the year, really launch into 2026. We're doing a raffle, really incredible, just incredible. Prizes or gifts rather from local businesses and silent art auction. So 8 to 10, you can kind of peruse what we've got. It's open doors, have a drink, enjoy some DJs, and then 10 p.m. until the ball drop. We're going to do a balloon drop at midnight. It's live music. So we've got Dwight and Nicole and Kat Wright and Bob Wagner and all his friends, and quite a few surprises planned. And we'll be there at least till 1.
How do you get in on that raffle?
So the raffle is tickets. You just buy a ticket. You can do it through our ticketing site when you buy your ticket for the evening, or just on site.
Okay, just on site. All right.
Yeah.
So, okay, this is great. So you've got your Christmas plans now settled, New Year's plans settled. I love you for making certain that all of our calendars are very full.
Yes.
What else do you have going on? What's on the horizon for 2026? What are some other plans for the space?
Really what we've been doing is living in the space as we're working on it, and so just activating it and getting people in there. But as soon as January, what we're hoping is that info center in the front will be active, that will have regular business hours for people to come say hi and see the space. And then we're going to be doing First Friday Art Walk, so expect a new exhibit every single month, an artist talk every single month. We're filling in the calendar now as far as local acts for music and performances, and then, you know, as we kind of get going, some touring acts may come through.
That's so great.
Yeah.
And I know when you and I were chatting and you were talking about how that you were so unaware that this was going to be a part of your life, that you committed to housing all the way up in
Alburg.
In Alburg,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
yes, so I feel like that provides a real window into what a windfall opportunity this was. And so how are you adjusting to the new changes?
So it's so funny. So our main focus has usually been Art Hop. We certainly curate year round, and we do events year round. But yeah, moving up to Alburg in it's just over a year and a half ago, was really like, oh, I can work remote. But when this came up, it was like, all right, caution to the wind. We're commuting now.
Well, how do you think it's going to change Art Hop? Like, you know, you will have this new home base and place. I love the idea there's going to be all those maps and way to distribute information. But what do you think it'll be like with Art Hop?
I can't wait. You know, we close the street in the front, so it's going to be like our front yard. It's the party. The deck will be open. There'll be music and art, and just, you know, having a spot for us to host our own events. So the fashion show will be there again, and just be able to open it up for networking, for artists to use, and I think the whole community is just really excited.
The whole community, this member of the community is very excited. So Christy, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Really pleased to have been one of the first to offer you a chance to sit down and give us a tour. Can't wait to have you back again to hear more about what's going to change. I think every 6 months she's going to need to give us an update. So as always, Vermont, thank you for learning and exploring with me today, and thanks to the team that makes Across the Fence possible. I'm Amy Finley. This is Across the Fence. Come back and let's learn and explore again tomorrow.